Episode 3, Bullets. January 5th, 2026, Japan, Tokyo. Ryu's house. Somehow, Ryu makes his way back to the house in a stunned daze. As he enters the kitchen, Ryu's mother turns and moves to him.
I tried to catch you before you left this morning. Have they heard from Katsumi yet?
Numb with shock, Ryu shakes his head while looking down. His mother pulls him into a tight embrace.
I'm sure she'll turn up soon.
Yeah.
Without another word, Ryu pulls away and goes to his room, shutting the door behind him. He lets his bag fall to the floor as he stands in the center of his dim room.
She can't be gone. Not Kat. Who in the world would want to kidnap her?
Glancing around his room, Ryu notices a blinking light on the side of his atmosphere visor. He quickly moves and picks it up.
A message in game?
Ryu hops on his bed, places the visor on his head, and lies back.
It may be a long shot, but maybe this message has something to do with Kat's disappearance. Link start!
January 5th, 2026, Elfheim, Ancient Forest. Ryu appears as his salamander avatar in the center of the ancient forest. With a swipe of his hand, he brings up his menu and clicks on the unread message. The message pops up in front of him and reads, "If you want to find your girlfriend, come to the center of Alne."
No way. Kat's kidnapper is a player in ALO.
Exiting his menu, Ryu summons his long red glittering wings and soars upward into the sky. He bursts through the air towards the central city of Elfheim.
Why? Why would someone want to kidnap Kat?
January 5th, 2026, Elfheim, Alne. Panting from exhaustion, Ryu lands in the central plaza of Alne. He glances back at his wings.
Just barely made it. A minute longer, my wings would have hit their limit.
With his wings now subdued, Ryu glances around at the various players, mulling about in the plaza.
How will I know who sent the message?
Somewhat frantically, Ryu keeps looking around until he hears a voice behind him.
You look as if you're searching for someone.
Ryu turns around to see a beautiful dark-haired Spriggan standing a few feet away from him. Part of her smooth black hair is braided on the left side of her head. The rest of her long straight hair reaches down to her knees. She's wearing sleek black armor and stares intently at Ryu with light gray eyes.
What gave it away?
So, you're the infamous Dragonheart Blade wielder, the strongest player from SAO.
You seem to know quite a lot about me. It's a shame I don't know anything about you. Even your name.
Ayame, a name you won't soon forget.
An eerie smirk appears on Ayame's face as she stares at Ryu with cold eyes.
Why does she seem so familiar? Did you send me that message, Ayame?
You mean the one about your precious little girlfriend?
Where is she?
Alive, in another VR MMORPG.
What? The cat can only be logged in for so long
Before her frail little body shuts down on her, isn't that right?
Just who are you? And why did you take Kat?
If only you knew.
Look, do whatever you want to me. Just let Kat go. She's done nothing to you.
You're right, she's innocent, unlike you.
You obviously have a bone to pick with me, so just tell me what it is you want.
I want you to suffer as I've suffered.
What do you mean?
In order to set Katsumi free, you'll have to join the VR MMORPG that she's logged into.
And what game is that?
Gun Gale Online.
GGO. But why?
Better hurry, Dragon Boy.
No, wait!
Just as Ryu reaches her, Ayame's avatar disappears from the game. In a frenzy, Ryu slashes his greatsword into a nearby tree. A short distance away, a few players gasp and whisper amongst each other as they study Ryu.
No! This can't be happening! If Kat stays logged in for too long...
Placing his greatsword on his back, Ryu quickly pulls up his menu to log out. January 6th, 2026, Japan, Tokyo, High School, Activities Room. Ryu stands in the middle of the activities room while Saki, Mariko, and Akio sit and stare at him in shock.
No way.
Katsumi's been kidnapped.
By some crazy player who's out to get you?
Yes, which is why I'll be gone from ALO for a while. I'm converting my avatar profile to GGO in order to find and free Kat.
Isn't GGO where that death gun guy killed those players in game in IRL?
That turned out to be false. It was discovered that Death Gun had a partner, IRL, who was murdering people as he shot them in-game. There isn't any real danger for players in GGO.
Except for Kat. If she stays logged in for too long, her body will give out on her. which is why I'm not going to stop until I get her back.
Right. We're going to.
Yeah.
Together, we'll find her.
I really appreciate it, everyone, but this is something I need to do on my own.
But why?
Because all of this is my fault. This Ayame girl will clearly go to extreme lengths to mess with me, including kidnapping Kat and forcing her to be logged into GGO. I don't want any of you to get hurt by getting involved.
It's always one thing after another. Will there ever be peace for Radiant Valor?
You have to get her back, Ryu. No matter what. You and Katsumi are... You're the heart of our guild. Do whatever it takes to bring her back safely.
Trust me, nothing is going to stop me from saving Kat. Nothing.
January 6, 2026, Japan, Tokyo, Ryu's house. Ryu places the GGO disc in his atmosphere system and sits on his bed.
Gun Gale Online is the only VR MMORPG of its kind. It has a game coin to real currency conversion. One more time. It has a game coin to real currency conversion, which allows players to earn money IRL depending on how much they make in game. This is why most of the players are so dedicated and hardcore.
Ryu places the visor on his head and lies back.
If I have any hope of finding Kat, I'll have to keep my head down and stay clear of any pro players.
Exhaling, Ryu closes his eyes.
Link start!
January 6, 2026, Gun Gale, SBC, Glocken. Deep in the heart of SBC Glocken, Ryu appears on a small stone platform. He glances around at the various armored players standing and talking to one another. Ryu looks down at his basic clothing and over at a steel plate on the wall. Stepping closer and focusing his now dark red eyes, Ryu sees that his hair is now light brown and shoulder length. Part of it is pulled back into a small half ponytail, with his long bangs hanging loose around his face.
I am most definitely not in Alfheim anymore.
Ryu turns and starts walking down the long stone streets of SBC Glocken.
I'll need to get some armor and weapons. There's gotta be some vendors and shops around here somewhere.
Continuing down the winding streets, Ryu glances all around, searching for any type of shop, but fails to find any. He stops in the middle of the street and looks around while scratching his head.
And now I'm totally lost. Just great.
With a short sigh, Ryu walks up to two players.
I don't suppose either of you could direct me to the nearest shop?
The players glance at one another, then burst out laughing.
Noobs.
Gotta love them.
Still laughing, the two of them stagger away from Ryu, who watches them go with furrowed brows.
Charming.
Unfortunately, that'll happen more often than not in this game. GGO's a dog-eat-dog type of world.
Turning around, Ryu sees a tall, muscular player who looks to be the same age as him, standing a few feet away. His long trench coat covers part of his chest armor, which matches a pair of goggles resting atop his spiky, bright orange mohawk. He looks over at Ryu with jovial, light brown eyes.
Don't take it too hard. Most players in GGO treat newbies like yesterday's trash. They figure why waste their precious time to advance themselves in game by helping some rookie.
And then why are you wasting your precious time by even talking to a noob such as I?
Because I'm not one of those players. Don't get me wrong, I'm a die-hard player, but I don't mind lending a hand to rookies here and there. Besides, you seem pretty lost.
Yeah, you could say that.
Come on, I'll take you to my favorite shop. Their equipment and weaponry is fairly inexpensive, yet still good quality.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. I feel like I've seen him somewhere before.
Don't mention it. I'm assuming since you joined GGO, you have some appreciation of guns. Has your dad ever taken you hunting or to shooting ranges before?
Oh, actually, my father left when I was 4 years old.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, I didn't...
No, he's fine. It was a long time ago. I hardly think of him anymore. And since he was gone for most of my life, I've grown up looking to fictional warriors and heroes as role models. Which is probably why I typically favor fantasy-type games most of all.
Then why did you join GGO? And how many fantasy warriors in here?
I have to find someone. Someone precious to me. She's being held captive in GGO somewhere, and I have to find her as quickly as possible. Which is why I really appreciate you helping me out. I guess I don't know your name.
Oh, I totally forgot to say. My real name is Daichi, but my character name is SS14.
SS-14?
14 is my jersey number. I'm the first string shortstop for my school's baseball team. Up until a year ago, I used to think VR MMORPGs were a waste of time, since everything is virtual. My life was so focused on sports back then that I believed the physical world was the only one that mattered.
What changed your mind?
Daichi looks down with a sad smile on his face.
My younger sister. She helped me to see just how amazing VR MMORPGs can be. Look at me blabbering on. I didn't even catch your name.
Oh, right. Well, I don't really have a character name, but my real name is Ryu.
Did you say Ryu?
Yeah. Is something wrong?
Daichi starts walking again with a nervous smile.
No, sorry, You said you like fantasy games, right? Does that mean you were maybe among the 10,000 players trapped in Sword Art Online for 2 years?
Actually, yeah. I was one of the players stuck in SAO. After that, I was trapped in Alfheim Online for 3 months as well. Why do you ask?
No reason, really. Oh, we're here. This is one of the best markets in the city.
Great. Thanks again for showing me the way.
Ryu holds out his hand to Daichi, who looks down at it for a moment before shaking it firmly with a smile on his face.
No problem, Ryu. Best of luck.
Same to you.
With a short wave, Daichi continues walking. Ryu turns back to the bustling market and is about to enter when Daichi suddenly walks back over to him.
Ryu, about the player you're trying to find in here.
Yeah?
Why is it so important that you find her as soon as possible?
Oh, well, Kat's real body has a weakened nervous system. So if she stays logged into a virtual game for too long, she could...
Ryu looks down as he is unable to finish.
I see. Well, tell you what, Ryu. I'm going to help you find her.
What? Really?
I'm not up to much since the Bullets of Bullets tournaments just ended a few weeks ago. Since this is a matter of life or death, I'd be glad to offer any assistance I can, if you want it.
Absolutely, that would be incredible.
Besides, you're clearly lost without me.
Dream on, Jock.
Whoa now, hotshot. If you're delving into smack talk, we'd better find you some gear and weapons. That way, I won't completely pummel you, if this turns ugly.
Oh, you're so on.
Ryu and Daichi enter the crowded shop. Along the walls, countless digital panels display various weapons and armor pieces.
Alright, where should we start first? Weapons? Armor?
I just realized something.
What?
I only have the 1,000 credits that every player starts with. I'm guessing I won't be able to afford very good weapons or armor with only that.
Don't worry about it. I've got it covered.
What? I can't let you pay for me.
You need to find your friend as quick as possible, right? You're not going to be able to do that with beginner equipment.
Ryu remains silent.
Hey, don't worry about it. I said I'd help you, and now I'm helping. Come on. I see some guns that might fit your style.
Alright. Whatever it takes to find Kat.
January 6, 2026. Gungale, SBC Glocken. Following Daichi out of the marketplace, Ryu admires his newly acquired armor and dual flaming pistols. He secures both pistols on the outside of each leg.
I think I have an idea of how we can cover more ground faster.
Ryu comes up behind Daichi as he hits a few buttons on the screen. A moment later, a large motorcycle with 2 seats appears next to them on the road.
Whoa, is this yours?
This beauty is BAT-37.
BAT? As in a bat in baseball?
Hush up and get on, hotshot.
You can take the jock out of the sport, but you can't take the sport out of the jock.
Once Ryu is on, Daichi starts up the metallic bike and takes off with great speed. Caught off guard by the sudden jolt, Ryu clutches onto the leather seat behind him for dear life.
Where are we headed?
I'm thinking there are several places in the city where a player could be held captive. We'll start by surveying the streets and see if anything suspicious sticks out.
Sounds good. Hang on, Kat. Just hang on. We're coming.
January 6, 2026. Gungale, SBC Glocken. Riding on Daichi's motorbike, Ryu and him race through the winding stone streets of the massive city of SBC Glocken.
Anything sticking out to you?
No, not yet. It all looks the same.
They round a corner and speed down a deserted street shrouded in the shadow. Ryu squints when he sees a figure standing in the middle of the road.
Watch out!
Whoa!
Daichi quickly swerves to the side. As they pass the figure, Ryu's eyes grow wide when he recognizes the shadowed stranger.
Wait, stop!
Instantly, Daichi slams on the brakes and they slide to a stop in a lit part of the road.
What's the matter?
Narrowing his eyes, Ryu watches as the figure steps out of the shadows and into the light. With lifeless eyes, she smirks at Ryu.
Ayame.